Welcome back to Belmont Bunch. Episode, I don't remember what episode it is. We've been weird with the numbering. The next episode is going to be called Episode 6, Revenge of the Fallen. So...
Is that when the Leafs are going to beat the Islanders?
Shut the fuck up. Last week I talked about rowdiness at the stadium. I went to the Toronto game and I was hoping it wouldn't be as bad only because I got into a fist fight with another Islander fan last year. But we don't need to talk about that. There were a lot of people at the Islander game last year that were excessively drunk because they went to the stadium at in the morning and the game was at 7 and they were drinking. So this year, luckily not that. This was still a good atmosphere, minus as much alcohol, which was good. Also, it's a Wednesday night. With that said, I had a lot of fun. It was a great crowd. The little kid behind me, probably 7 or 8 years old, at one point during the third period went, "Where's Pajama Boy?" And I was like, "Listen, kid, you're the greatest thing ever." I turned to the father, I gave him a high five, then we went skydiving with the president.
You're an Islanders fan for life, kid.
You're an Islander, Harry. I'm a what? All that shenanigans aside, let's talk about the game. There was a game. It was played. The Islanders won. What a shock. So, Steve Dangle, friend of the show. Not really. He doesn't know who I am. Just kidding.
We're going to tweet this out.
Sure. He's been talking a lot. He's been talking a lot about the Leafs having bad starts, and I've been watching a lot of Leafs games. And yeah, he's correct. They've been having a tough time getting going early. Part of the reason that a lot of the Leafs fans want a coaching change, but we'll talk about that in a separate video. Really, not a bad start this time around. They outshot the Islanders, but the shots were 4-2, halfway through the period. Kind of an Islanders type game. It's the type of game we want to play, where we're limiting chances, especially when you're playing a team in the Leafs that had 57 shots a few nights earlier against Robin Lehner and lost because it was Robin Lehner. So limiting the shots was really important. The Islanders did that in the first period and were rewarded by a terrible drop pass by, I want to say it was Andreas Janssen, which goes straight to Jordan Eberle, who's then able to get into the zone. He has the puck picked off him, and then he picks it right back off. One defenseman back for the Leafs, slided across. Matt Barzal basically puts it through the freaking net hard enough that the puck came back out to center. And then Barzal did his thing against the Leafs, which is celebrating very hard. Very hard. And he loves playing the Leafs. James and I were speaking earlier about, the rumor that's kind of not as much a rumor that Barzal does not like John Tavares, starting with the kid with the Calder thing, and I think culminating last year in Tavares' return during the tribute video, which all the fans booed through. Good job. Where the sign of respect for a hockey player is all the Islanders were tapping their sticks on the board, which is a sign of respect to their former captain. Barzal was not tapping his stick. Barzal was skating the opposite direction, pretending to warm up, but mostly just trying to give Tavares the cold shoulder. I love this pettiness. I love it. Yeah, so Barzal scored. That's what I want to say. Later on in the last minute of the period, Islanders on the power play get a chance. Nelson is on the doorstep. He can't tap it in, but the puck comes back out to Taves, I want to say. Taves, being the competent quarterback, power play quarterback that he is, slides it to Beauvillier, who rips one top corner. And this is the part where we laugh. All the Leafs fans have been saying is last year the Islanders only beat the Leafs backup goalie twice in Garrett Sparks, and then lost the one time Freddie started. So, of course, it was just luck. We beat Freddie in this game, and Freddie looks like crap. So this is your king? This is your king! He was not great at all. Not impressed. And I like Freddie Anderson as a goalie, but not impressed at all. He had from what I saw, I thought he had a clear look at it and just whiffed on the glove. Got a tiny piece of it, went into the top corner after that. So it's 2-0 at the end of one. And the Islanders are playing their game. They finished that period taking like the last 7 shots. I think the shots are 9-5 through 1. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, we've only allowed 5 shots through 1 period to one of the best offensive teams in the league. We got our power play back going. We got our mojo. Outdated reference. It was on. There was a marathon on the other day. So now it's 2-0. Second period, credit to the Leafs. The Leafs responded. And this is a team that I will rant against the fact that I feel like they don't have a backbone when it comes to, players on their team getting laid out and then nobody being there to show up for their captain or show up for whoever got run over. And that would happen in this period, but the Leafs were focused on the goal. The Leafs make it 2-1 on a little bit of a weird tip drill. Shot from the point, tipped by Tavares. Kapanen was coming back from the corner and taps it in. Varlamov doesn't really have a shot at it. Taves doesn't do a good job of sensing the danger behind him. So now it's 2-1. And the Leafs were really carrying play. The Islanders did not have a shot in the second period until past the halfway mark. The Leafs played a great second period. William Nylander scores a few minutes later to tie the game on a play where Brock Nelson does not have the best defensive work. This has been a theme so far in the season, hence his 2 sin bins, which is the end-all be-all, if we're going to be honest, of defensive play, is my judgment. So now it's 2-2, and the Leafs are playing fantastic. Luckily for us, one of the nagging problems with the Leafs is their defensemen pinch when there is no reason to. The puck has not left the zone. This is late in the second period. The Islanders have struggled to get anything going. And the Leafs give us a lifeline because there's a loose puck in the zone. Both Leaf defensemen leave the zone without them having the puck. Don't do that. Creates a 2-on-1 for the Islanders. Brassard down low to Beauvillier. Beauvillier parks himself out front, goes to the backhand, and puts the puck right through Anderson. Another really bad goal from Anderson. This is your king. My stomach just growled. This is your king. My God, he was terrible. And this is the guy that last year they were like, well, this is the reason that you beat us. He's a good goalie. He looked bad. And this might come down to a big thing that we've been talking about, the Leafs fans have been talking about. The backup goaltending is bad, really bad. So the starter has to play way too many games. Is Anderson already cooked? Because that's bad if he's already cooked. The last few years he's played the most. He started the most games in goal. And we saw the same thing happen with Cam Talbot in Edmonton. And he burnt out real quick. So I really, for a Leafs fan's sake, I hope this isn't the case. But, he's rough right now. Maybe I'm taking too much from this game. He's been okay on the year. But you know what? He has some slow starts. Just hope that that's the case, even though it's 20 games in. Or for the Leafs, 22. And they have 21 points. I just wanted to point that out. So now 3-2 after 2. The Islanders, having gotten away with playing not well in the second, playing pretty well in the first. So you could say it's been a pretty even game so far. And I think the advanced stats show that this game was a toss-up going into the third. And in the third, the Islanders decided, guess what? We're going to win this game. I'm the captain now. Barzal said to Tavares, oh. The Leafs would get a couple power plays. Casey Cizikas. Boy, he was incredible on, I think it was the penalty, the last Leafs power play. He killed about 40 seconds by himself, holding the puck in the zone, gets knocked down at one point, keeps it in. He had a shot on goal after stick lifting one of the Leafs players right in front of the net, gets a shot off, good save by Anderson. He killed 40 seconds by himself, goes back to the bench, get the KC, KC, KC chant. And my favorite thing was in the post-game interview, they were asking him, did you hear the chants for you? He said, no, I was too busy catching my breath. He's just a great, hard-working player. He's one of my favorite players on the team right now. And the Islanders escape 2 power plays from the Leafs, 0 shots on 2 power plays for the Leafs. Islanders get a couple power plays late in this period. There's a cross-check by Muzzin. Islanders now great chance to extend the lead with a power play that finally has gotten a goal after like a week without a power play goal. And Matt Barzal weaves through 2 Leafs defensemen straight through them, a la Valtteri Filppula last year in the first game against the Leafs. Pauses. Leafs defense slides to no avail. Slides it across to Brassard, who shoots it 11 billion miles an hour through the freaking net. I was sitting behind the goal, and I didn't see the puck like until it hit the net. It was like it vaporized and just appeared in the net. Imagine like he got like straight from the bench. Brassard got to like wind up for like 30 feet and then just clapped it. Oh my God. I just like the goal horn goes off. Everybody's losing it. And I just stood up and I went. I just did that.
Break out the motion.
Yes. So now it's 4-2. And we're starting to feel, now the crowd's a little bit loose. We're like, we don't need you. And the chants as such. Don't you laugh. Damian Woody, former Jet, was in the crowd, Super Bowl champion, not with the Jets, obviously, was in the crowd. He was in the crowd. It was his first Islanders game. We got him up into the section with all the chants. He gets going on the drum. It was great. The Leafs pull their goalie early, trailing by 2. They pull him with close to 3 minutes left. Cizikas chips the puck towards the net. Austin Matthews is standing right there, so I'm like, oh, there's no way that goes in. Bounces over Austin Matthews' stick. Austin Matthews does not try very hard to get this puck, and it goes in, and it was really embarrassing, and listen, it wasn't pretty, but Cizikas really deserved a goal after his hard work throughout the game. So now it's 5-2, and it's just a jovial atmosphere. It's like, yeah, my anus is bleeding.
My anus is bleeding!
That's a really old reference. I'm just dating myself.
I'll insert the clip.
Yeah. For the love of God and all that is holy. My anus is bleeding. So it's now 5-2, but the Leafs pull the goalie again. Justin Holl shoots the puck from the blue line, gets stopped by Varlamov, who proceeds to just glitch out like an NHL 20 goalie and just stands there. I don't think he saw where the puck went on the rebound, even though it was right in front of him. And Justin Holl takes it, wraps it around, and scores. As Butch said, yeah, Varlamov, not great. That was not great. And then, like 30 seconds later, Morgan Rielly gets the puck at the point, 6-on-5 with the goalie pulled again. It's 5-3 at this point. Shoots it to the net, billion deflections, Tavares scores, and now it's 5-4. And now everyone in the arena is clenching their buttocks.
Tavares was super excited about that goal.
That's true.
Yeah.
Tavares, famous for really, like, the only goals I've really seen him celebrate throughout his career are, like, playoff goals, which is fair. He was like, I got the monkey off my back. But then it was like, no, but you still lost. Yeah. So that's three out of 4 since you left the team. But who's counting? I am. He said with his near-destroyed voice due to sickness. We're going to cut that. Let's go over some of the stats in this game that I thought were interesting. So the Islanders go 2 for 3 on the power play and kill both penalties without allowing a shot. Fantastic night for the special teams. Islanders out-hit the Leafs. There was a hit in particular. Mayfield laid on Tavares. Tavares got wrecked, and he's the captain of your team. If you're the Leafs, how do you not, like, I guess because the Leafs don't have any goons. They got rid of all their goons. Their goons are now on the Islanders. They are Leo Komarov and Matt Martin. They don't have anybody. They don't have any sandpaper. They don't have any grit grinders, as Bar Down would call it. It's really showing right now. There's been multiple times. McAvoy did it in the Boston Leafs game too. Leafs players are getting run over by hits, and then nobody's backing them up. It really feels like it's just not a team right now. It's a group of individuals that are highly paid. Whereas the Islanders feel like a team with wins like this one, which we'll get to. Islanders also outblock the Leafs 22-8. Another commitment to doing the dirty little things that the Leafs aren't showing. I think the Leafs, there's a bit of a civil war. We're talking a lot about the Leafs in this video. There's a bit of a civil war within the fan base. keep track of a lot of the fan bases to see what they're feeling about players at a certain time, to try to stay in touch with what fan bases are feeling. And with the Leafs, it's it's almost unavoidable because it's such a big market. So I feel like I have my own opinions on the Leafs. We'll, outside of the thousands of them that I put into this video, we have a side video where we're also going to talk about that, but somewhat objective. It's a little bit hard. But so the Islanders win 5-4. The Leafs lose, at this point, I think it was the third in a row. They've now lost 5 in a row at the time of filming. So the Islanders continue their point streak to 13 games, and they go to Philly last night, Saturday, and they start the game playing pretty well. Really, shots were, I think, 6-1 about halfway through the period, and that one shot for the Flyers was a goal. And we were in a bar watching this, and tough goal. Boychuk got caught out a little bit. He catches the puck around center ice, and he tried to put it down and then slap it back into the zone. He puts it down and immediately gets stolen. It's a little bit tough because he can't hold the puck any longer. You got to put it immediately down, obviously, or else you get a penalty. A little bit tough. Not a great, no back check on Couturier, who rips one home off the bar, and it's 1-0. And the rest of the period, the Islanders started to kind of fall apart. We get a power play goal from Provorov very late in the period, in the final minute. Another one, Greiss really couldn't see this one, so not a lot of fault there. And the first goal also, I know it's a 1-on-1 and Greiss just got beat, but sick shot by Couturier. Credit to him. And the Flyers they're playing the Islanders game to this point. They're getting outshot. All the stats say they shouldn't be winning, although late in the period, the Charge changed that. But the Flyers were playing the Islanders game, which is, we don't need to outchance you. We're just going to take advantage of our high danger chances. So good on the Flyers for that. They also, Oscar Lindblom would score to make it 3-0. This is the one that Greiss maybe should have had, but still a really good shot. It was a clear look from Greiss, though, so that's a little bit tough. So now it's 3-0. But with the way that this team's been playing, and now it's at the end of 2, but the Islanders had decent push at the end of the second period, I'm thinking to myself, I was at the Pittsburgh game, and I'm thinking, and I said to my friend Matt, we've given up 3 goals in the third. We could score 3 goals in the third. It's kind of crazy, the optimism that's infecting the fan base right now. And I say infecting because it's uncomfortable. Get it away from me. Too much hope. So the Islanders, my first thought is you got to do it sort of the way Pittsburgh did, which is Pittsburgh scored early. And so the pressure immediately was huge on the Islanders because when you score that early, you have the rest of the period to score the 2. The Islanders didn't do that. The Islanders took the hard way. The Islanders were getting tons of chances, and they were throughout the game. The Islanders were not playing bad, even when they were losing. It was like we said, the Flyers just taking advantage of their chances. Finally, we get one to go. This is a bad change. Sometimes that's all it takes. About 12 minutes left in the game. Bad change from the Flyers lets Beauvillier scoot on in by himself after Brassard sends him on his way, and he slides it through Elliott's legs, and now it's 3-1. All right, 12 minutes left. You would have liked to score that earlier in the period to really get it going. But now there's life. And this Islander team under Barry Trotz is relentless. So you know that they're at least going to give it a good effort the rest of the way, even if they can't get over the summit. A few minutes later, about 9 minutes left on the power play. Fantastic passing play. Brassard down low, once he got it from the defenseman on the point. Down low to Lee. One-touch pass to Barzal, one-timer, and it's 3-2. And now the pressure is really surmounting. There's 6 minutes left. The Flyers must be feeling it at this point. You can hear it in the crowd. The fans are booing. And with 2 minutes left, with a lot of Islanders pressure, hold on. My ears popped. I don't know, my sinuses. Yeah, a lot of pressure. Beauvillier gets the puck in the slot. He just throws it on net on the backhand. This was one I couldn't tell how it went in initially. He just throws it on. He throws it.
That's too realistic. We can't show actual footage. Can you?
Don't copyright. He just throws it on net, which is never a bad play. There's a little bit of traffic in front. Brian Elliott, thank you for kicking this puck into the net. The goalie, Brian Elliott, this puck goes right to his pads. It bounces around. You know how they teach goalies, if you don't know where the puck is, to just stand still, because you might knock it in. Brian Elliott has not heard this advice, even though he's in his late 30s, and goes, "Nah," and kicks it into the net. And now it's a tie game on one of the ugliest goals I've seen. You just laugh and you take the goal. So now we're going to OT. There were some chances still late in the third after that goal with 2 minutes left. But the Islanders secure their 14th consecutive game with a point. And we go to the shootout. There's some chances in OT, but nothing crazy. And in the shootout, quick shootout, Islanders want to get out there quick. They must have had a note on Elliott after he lost the puck into the net when he had a brain fart. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, Eberle slots it right through his legs, 1-0. The Flyers, Couturier hits the crossbar, and then Barzal comes in, does an around the world, through the legs once again. Elliott, close your damn legs. And now it's on the stick of Giroux to save the game. Doesn't even get a shot off. Thomas Greiss poke checks it. And good for Thomas Greiss because he didn't play great in this game, and he's been pulling more than his weight this season. It's good on the team to give back to him because he didn't have his best game. And there's been a lot of games the Islanders haven't had their best game, and Greiss has bailed them out. And the Islanders skaters return the favor finally, and now the taste of the Pittsburgh game is out of our mouths. It's like I said, well, I said more it was going to help them for when they have leads, but it goes to show that Pittsburgh game could be an important learning moment in the season. The fact that they know that no lead is safe, and they sniffed it out late in the second, even though it was still 3-0. Barry Trotz said after the game, we knew we were doing the right thing, which is probably what Pittsburgh was saying in the game where they beat us. They were doing all the right things. They just weren't getting rewarded. And instead of changing the game plan, they stuck with it. And that's how Pittsburgh won that game. And the Islanders did that themselves in this game. They stuck with it. They didn't really change much. They kept going at it. And they just found a way to win. And now they are 13-0-1 in their last 14. And they've still only gained 1 point on the Caps in that time because the Caps have gone 13-0-2, I believe. 13-1-1. So stop winning, Capitals. Please. They are so good, the Caps. At the beginning of the year, I had them in the Cup. I had them losing in the Cup Finals to Vegas. Vegas right now is not great, but the Capitals are unreal. But, oh my God, I should probably talk about the Killer Bees right now that are getting everything going. Oh my God, incredible week. And Brassard has 13 points through 18 games. Last year, he had 23 points in 79 games, I think it was. So he's doing better. He looks like vintage Brassard. Yep. We outshot the opponent in both games, which is kind of cool to see because that's been a thing that we've been struggling with. Our special teams are pretty good. Our penalty kill has been fantastic. We're top 10 in the league in both power play and penalty kill, which I never thought would have been possible. Scoring-wise, it's there. The scoring is fine. And that's kind of it. We're going to move on to the 3 stars of the week. 3 stars of the week. Barzal had 2 goals and an assist. He is now at 9 goals. Last year it took him until, I think, January to get to that mark. So he is shooting more, and he is being rewarded. Brassard, fantastic week. Shot a puck through a net. That was incredible. Killed somebody in the 8th row because it went through. Had 4 assists. He's looked fantastic on the wing. I don't want to move him back to center. And Beauvillier, my hero, I feel like he's this channel's lucky charm. Patron saint. Sure, yeah. That's a good one. 4 goals in 2 games, including the tying goal in the Philly game, the first goal to set us on our way in the Philly game, and the go-ahead goal in the Leafs game. He's just scoring really important goals, too. It's not just the quantity, it's the quality. The sin bin is me, because I've only been to 5 games so far. And my record's only 3-2. Listen, I have high expectations. Last year I went to 11 games. I think I've talked about this a billion times. I went to 11 games, yeah, and they won 10 of them. So I'm only 3-2 this year. I apologize. This is my fault. So I will get to more games, and if they lose, I will stop going to games. Just kidding. I just love the pain. That being said, give us a like, please, if you liked it. If you didn't, dislike it and comment how much of a loser I am.
No. You can't say that. You have to say dislike it and tell us why. Don't say that. Don't say I veto that.
Can we keep this in? Where you explain to me.
You're too
And then we
you're
cut.
too
Wait,
self-defeating.
no, that's fine. And then we cut to, give us a like, dislike it, and tell us why, if you
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Fill out the form. Give us 1 star on Yelp. Say excessive amounts of terrible facial hair, and that's about it. So we'll see you next time. Bye bye now. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. 3 stars
Of the league.
of the 2 games.
Yeah, restart. You gotta restart.
No, that's staying in.